you represent EU presiding country Lithuania, and you just came from Vilnius, and Vilnius is not only the city now for Ukrainians, but also a notion. Can you please elaborate what shall we expect now from Vilnius? Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Well, first of all, I should like very much the organizers for inviting me to sit here among such a distinguished panel of speakers, former Prime Minister Ambassador Dubitsky, Mr. Prada. So, and to brief you a little bit on the process of Eastern Partnership, which is the main priority of our 4 priorities of the Lithuanian presidency. By the way, Eastern Partnership for the first time is a priority, a real priority for the presiding country to the Council of the European Union. I think so this is remarkable. You, Mr. Chairman, asked about Vilnius. Well, we, of course, would be very pleased that in Vilnius something will happen historically. You know, in relation between our countries, there are many things, many landmarks where Lithuania played a role in the history of Ukraine and also in countries, for the countries in the eastern neighborhood. So we definitely would be pleased and happy that this would happen the same this year. Since my job, actually, my assignment is to, as a chief coordinator for the Eastern Partnership and for the summit, I'd like to brief you a little bit on our efforts in preparing the summit, which is, of course, the most important event, but nevertheless, this is not a single event. And particularly, I'd like to stress out that this is a process which was started in 2009 by first Eastern Partnership Summit under the presidency of Czech Republic, and then was continued in 2011 under the very able Polish presidency, which ended up with the Warsaw Declaration. And now we have a Vilnius Summit, 3rd in a row, and what this summit, from our point of view, is something like it's end of one stage. Things which were designed and conceived several years ago, right now came to an end, and with a very logical end. And I'd like to stress out another one thing here. To reach some good results, definitely need a good strategy and very good tactics. So nobody doubts about it. Sun Tzu in his Art of War wrote that strategy without tactics is a longest way to victory. But tactics without strategy is just a noise before imminent defeat. I guess and I hope that Ukraine has very good strategy, chosen strategy, and very good applied tactics. And I think so about this particular stage we'll end up with the Vilnius Summit with a very successful signing of the association agreement, including DCFTA. I don't want to dwell here too much on the say privileges which will receive Ukraine and EU when this agreement will come into the force. I think so Ambassador Dubitsky put a lot of good accents on it and with the right figures. But I don't want to elaborate on this here, because maybe later on in the questions and answers session, so we can do that. But at this particular point, I'd like to say that the Vilnius process, preparation for the Vilnius Summit, which started already some time ago, is coming to its logical end. Economical part of the Vilnius Summit is not the only event. Because of the Eastern Partnership and for Eastern Partnership, Lithuania's presidency built a plan of 19 events. Some of them are small, some of them bigger. But they really are built on the achievements of previous presidencies, on the previous summit declarations, and also we continue with this process, and we think that this will be continued after Vilnius. And of course, Vilnius will be remarkable for these political goals, which we will hope that will be achieved. Signing of the association agreement, including the CFTA with Ukraine, concluding negotiations and initialing agreements with Moldova and Georgia. So a couple of visa liberalization facts will be confirmed. But nevertheless, we think that Vilnius will be just an important milestone, not only sealing something what has already happened, but also drawing the line for the future. Setting horizon is one of the goals. Another one aspect I want to just point out here, that economic integration is just one of the, say, most seen and presumably from the point of view of visibility, important areas of Eastern Partnership. But nevertheless, building up civil society, bringing up new opportunities for education of youth, these are something. So therefore, it's not just by accident. As a part of the side events which are organizing before the Vilnius Summit, will be Youth Forum. So just at the very beginning of October, Youth Forum in Kaunas will, together with the Commission, it will be announced about this Erasmus Plus, will be Eastern Partnership. Academic youth will be able to use all the advantages which are given to the students under this program. Just following former programs of Tempus and Erasmus Mundus, so new program from Marie Skłodowska-Curie, action is established, which will give much broader opportunities for the students of the Eastern Partnership countries, and obviously from Ukraine, to study and to exchange all the academic knowledge within Europe. I think so these are remarkable things which will be part of the Ukraine's social and economic and political growth. This is, I think, so these are essentials which will be, I think so, we will be able to achieve by Vilnius Summit and draw, new lines for the future. Not concentrating very much what already happened. I'd like to stress out that Vilnius very naturally will produce some further steps with regard to implementation of the already achieved and signed agreements. Association agenda is for the Ukraine case, so you know perfectly, so that the association agenda is being in preparation. So, association agenda means that parties to the agreement should make to fulfill their commitments, what they signed for. So that's why we think that this part is also very much important. Just in chess game, the view is very much, nice and important. Everybody writes about this. Endspiel, when somebody does victory, also very much important. But nobody cares about the middle game. But middle game, this is exactly the place where the difference happens. You constantly and steadily improve your positions, which might end to the victory. I think so. I wish very much that this middle game, which now I think so happens in many of the Eastern Partner countries, is happening here as well. So this is very much important part. Maybe not so spectacular, but very much important. And also, saving all the time, I want to add something just for myself personally. This year, just in a few days, it will be exactly 20 years when John Paul II was visiting Lithuania in '93. So, and just by accident, with a group of Swedish philanthropists, I was in our parliament, our heart of independence. And there are some words, carved in stone, said by John Paul II, very short one phrase, don't be afraid. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Ми вже вийшли за межі відведеного нам часу для виступу. Я просив би Володимира Михайловича Бачинського, який зараз керує